Okay, calling to order. Can I slap my gavel when I say call to order? Good morning. Today is February 6th, and this is the regularly scheduled meeting of Committee on Council. I am Liliana Bakhtiari, Chair, and I would like to welcome everyone who has joined us this morning. To my left, I have been joined by Councilmembers Alex Swan and Jason Winston. Enjoying. To my right, we are joined by Councilmember Andrea Boone, Councilmember Byron Amos, and Councilmember Amir Faroqi. Let's go ahead and move forward to the adoption of the agenda. Is there a motion to adopt the meeting agenda? Moved by Councilmember Faroqi, seconded by Councilmember Alex Swan. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. The agenda is adopted.
Thank you. Moving on to approval of the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilmember Alex Swan, seconded by Councilmember Amir Faroqi. Can we please open the vote?
The vote is open. 6 yeas, 0 nays. The minutes are adopted.
Thank you. A reminder that 2023 Committee on Council goals and objectives have not yet been turned in. Please turn them in to Ms. Niltresa McMichael. We are going to be going over them. We will be going over these next Committee on Council meeting, so please have them in before our next meeting. If you don't, I will post your personal cell phone number and home address on the internet for everyone in the public to see. And then finally, the adoption of full council agenda. I will second. Moved by Councilmember Alex Swan, seconded by Liliana Bakhtiari. Please open the vote.
The vote is open.
I'd like to say that we've been joined by Councilmember Howard Shook. Better late than never. Let me see. I believe Councilmember Shook is an aye.
Please vote. Six yeas, 0 nays. The full council agenda is adopted.
Thank you. Moving on to public comment. Ms. McMichael, how many public speakers do we have today?
We have 1 person signed up and 1 additional person that came in a little late.
Great. Okay. We will go ahead and open up public comment. Before we begin, please remember that you have 3 minutes. I will remind you when you have 30 seconds left. So please remember, 3 minutes. I'll warn you at 30 seconds.
Yes,
welcome, Brother Muhammad.
Most certainly. I am that I am. Negas, King of Kings, Kemetic, indigenous, antiquity, spiritual being. I command the mama of the cosmos, as above, as below. I command the ancestors to recognize here today, we, the dark matter peoples of the earth, the feminine, the masculine, must return back to our mama of the cosmos, who teaches the soulful energy, and who wants you to know she got your back. The dark mama of the earth know you are the first warrior families of the earth, dark matter people. You miseducated Negroes must return back to your ancient history. We must know that what the Father of the earth represents, the spiritual energy for all humanity. The Father wanted the dark matter families of the earth, the first warrior families of the earth, not Queen Elizabeth and her family. You are the first warrior family of the earth. Miseducation of the Negro. Carter G. Woodson said 100 years ago, we have to come back and be the representative of our ancestors. And you, the daughters of the earth, must return to your feminine energy. You men of the earth must return to your masculinity. You must represent the holistic value, 306 degrees as above, as below. And you who represent the sun, you must recognize that you are the royal families, and your thoughts, your mental abilities can be made into physical manifestation, and not S-O-N, but S-U-N. I talks about ACOP, Atlanta Commission on Women. As you see, we have some celebrations going on down on the first floor of people that fought in the civil rights. But ask your question, Mr. Dixon, ask that question, council member. But I first want to say thank you for the work that you are doing for affordable houses and those who cannot find a place to lay their head. But why have a city that we say, let's make sure Atlanta is a place everyone can call home? We have buildings that the city have oversight. You have the opportunity to do more for the peoples on the street. You got thousands of people still on the street. And not the American descendants of slaves need to be treated like this in the 21st century.
30 seconds.
When you got Ukraine, a country that used to be part of the Soviet Union, fought in World War II against the American people. And I am a veteran. Isn't it right that you do for the poor? Isn't it right that you do for those that live without economic empowerment? You had this brother over there at Georgia State University, where I went, down in Mingo, red hot city, housing, race, and exclusion in the 21st century. I greet you as I did not greet you. Mayor Metro Hotel, Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you.
Thank you, Brother Muhammad. I believe we have one more public speaker, Mr. Ron Shakir.
Good morning, Ron Shakir, beautiful. Southwest Atlanta. You guys, some of y'all have been here for a while. Well, I've been coming down for a while myself. I used to be a street vendor. And when this council, under the leadership of, I believe it was Shirley Franklin, who started making me get a license every 3 months. I had to go through the police department every 3 months and get fingerprinted. Atlanta City Police allowed me to do that. And when I see the buses now and the trucks, service, cooking food and what have you, and the attraction of it, well, there's communities in this city that was doing that, doing fish and eggs, door to door. And we brought a joy and a comfort to our communities when they saw us. But today, a lot of them not in business, but a lot of them passed. Brother in the wheelchair used to be out in front of the train station. He had been in a wheelchair for about 25 years, Brother Muhammad. But we had to get fingerprint. The new Atlanta had to fingerprint black grown men who had houses and family. But Miss Alice Bronner passed this morning. She was a member of the Concerned Black Clergy where I met her. But the story she told about coming from rural Georgia, in the domestic work she did, in the restaurant work she did, in the children she raised in the East Lake area, just about a half a mile from the golf course. She's a heck of a woman, but she's gone now. The fact is, are we gone now? Are we leaving this city? Do the legislation that y'all consider pushing African Americans out this city? Do they have families? Do they have children? Do they have schools? What is the connection? What is their stories? What is America's story when it comes to your leadership as elected officials that one time decided that African Americans couldn't vote, couldn't stand, couldn't walk, couldn't talk? I rushed down here this morning, I think it was Pryor Street. The traffic
30 seconds.
was really turned upside down. And you remind me of how many seconds I have here. But I want to remind you that our time of engagement has been cut more than often half the time. We used to be able to sign in over there. We used to be able to talk about information that we didn't know about, nothing that was on agenda, through a walkthrough paper, proclamations or presentations that were made. We was able to comment on that. We was able to engage at the end of the meeting.
Time is up.
And your leadership is bigger and more responsible than telling us that time is up. Time is up. But we need to do better in our time. And I understand you, Ms. Boone, you giving her the look or you giving her the but it's not right. It's not right. Please review what we have come through and then stand for that.
Okay, Mr. Shakir.
That's connected with the Board of Education
Time
and
is
our
up.
schools about how we're being shut out of this city. stand up for it.
40 seconds over.
I will also stand against being oppressed. Thank you.
With that, I believe public comment is concluded. Ms. McMichael, will you please sound item number 1?
23C5004, a communication from Mayor Andre Dickens appointing Mr. Chevin King III to serve as a member of the City of Atlanta Development Impact Fee Advisory Committee. This appointment is a term of 2 years.
And forgive me, Ms. McMichael, could you actually take items 1 through 3, 5, and 6 as a block? So you've read off item 1. Would you
Yes,
proceed by reading the rest as a block? Thank you.
Item number 2, 23C5009, a communication from Councilmember Antonio Lewis appointing Ms. Sandra Williams to serve as a member of the Stakeholder Oversight Committee. This appointment is for a term of 2 years. Item 3, 23C5010, a communication from Council members Liliana Battiari, District 5, Alex Juan, District 6, Howard Shook, District 7, Mary Norwood, District 8, and Matt Westmoreland, Post 2 at Large, appointing Ms. Rebecca Cerna to serve as a member of the Stakeholder Oversight Committee. This appointment is for a term of 2 years. Item number 5, 23C5012, a communication from Council members Mary Norwood, District 8, Liliana Battiari, District 5, Alex Juan, District 6, Howard Shook, District 7, and Matt Westmoreland, Post 2 at Large, appointing Dr. Michael Bell to serve as a member of the Stakeholder Oversight Committee. Item number 6, 23C5014, a communication from Council members Mary Norwood, District 8, Liliana Battiari, District 5, Alex Juan, District 6, Howard Shook, District 7, and Matt Westmoreland, Post 2 at Large, appointing Mr. Brinkley Dickerson to serve as a member of the Stakeholder Oversight Committee.
Move to approve. And I have a second by Councilmember Juan. Could you please open the vote?
The vote is open. Please vote. 7 yeas, 0 nays. These items are favorable.
Thank you so much. And Ms. McMichael, will you also please sound item number 4?
23C5011, a communication from Mayor Andre Dickens appointing Mr. Solomon Cavanis IV to serve as Commissioner of the Atlanta Department of Transportation for the City of Atlanta.
Thank you. And I believe Mr. Cavanis is here. Would you like to approach the mic and tell us a little bit about why you would like to take on this job and what your hopes are, and tell us a bit about yourself.
Happy Monday, everyone. I find myself back to this podium, excited to serve the City of Atlanta and those persons amongst this body. Solomon Cavanis, I am a Atlanta native, back home to serve in the role upon appointment or confirmation for the Transportation Commissioner for Atlanta DOT. And I've met with most of those up at the in front of me, but I look forward to the opportunity to Councilmember Boone. Really look forward to that opportunity to sit with you. So just to speak to my experience and my background, civil engineer background, traffic engineer by trade. I found that most of our interactions have been positive relative to the issues in the districts, the need for responsiveness, accountability, and making sure Atlanta DOT supports this committee and this body. And I want to do everything possible to make that happen and to bring Atlanta to the world stage in terms of transportation. So.
Thank you. We have a move for approval by Councilmember Alex Juan, a second by Councilmember Jason Winston. Before I open up the vote, does anyone have any questions for Mr. Solomon? No? Seeing none, can we please open the vote?
The vote is open. 7 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable.
Wonderful, thank you. And I believe that is the last of our legislative items. We have no dual referred. We have nothing coming off of held. So that concludes our business. Oh, I think that, but I'm going to, don't worry, I was going to open up for general remarks. I believe Councilmember Alex Juan has something to say.
Yeah, I just wanted council members to realize, since it's held, it was a dual referred paper, 22-01823. This is regarding the Ethics Office moving out of the Office of Inspector General. We're going to have a work session on this, I believe, February 22nd. I'll make sure staff has that on everybody's calendar to walk through the proposal as well as hear from law in terms of some of the requests that the OIG office has made. So just please, if you're interested, please attend. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Juan. Anyone else? No? With that, we are adjourned.